And I was seeing in front of me the version that I have been communicating with within me for all of this time. Everything he shared, was a direct reflection of what I've been focusing on and feeling on the inside with no evidence in the 3D. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Career Union. I want to share a client success story with you to inspire you to continue to persist with you and your specific person, your mirror soul, but just stop persisting in your old story and the old version of you. You don't have to reject the old version of you, but you're just choosing to be who you feel deep down in your heart and soul you already are, because technically you're just remembering. That's all that it is. The reason why it feels so like I can't let this person go is because you guys have already been through this. What you're going through now, you've already been through it. You guys have already been through this separation. That's why you have such a strong feeling of not to give up. That's why you insist on figuring this out. That's why you're not giving up. You've already been here. You've already done this. You've already healed it. You already went through the bridge of events. You already went through your middle. You already got back together. That has already happened, and that is why it feels so strong, because you know how amazing and incredible the relationship is with each other, because you've lived it already. Again, not in a past life, in this life, because time is just an illusion. So this, as much as it feels like it's the now, it's your past. No. Just wrap your head around it and let it land and anchor in that trust and in that faith and surrender to it. And just let your barriers down, because all is good. All is healed. You guys have figured it out. You guys have come back together. It's already happened. I've been sharing this on my channel for years now, and wanting you to grasp the depth of the fact that you and your mirror soul are already one. Your mirror soul wants everything that you want. And if you are fearful of the connection, then so are they. If you are trusting in yourself and in them and in the connection and in love, then so will they. And if you're constantly wavering, going back and forth and questioning and just going back and forth with between trust and fear, this is a normal part of the process, especially in the beginning. But after a certain amount of time, at one point or at some point, you just have to stop giving your 3D all of the power and go into the essence of the oneness with you and everyone in your reality. Everyone in your reality is meant for you. Your divine messengers are there for a reason. And when you've met the one and you know it deep down in your heart and soul, they know it too. Even if you have circumstances that you believe are in the way of you and your union with them, the circumstance itself doesn't matter, but it's gold. It's showing you whatever emotion you're feeling within you isn't who you truly are. Your emotion, the pain that you feel when you're fearful, when you're in doubt, when you're questioning, when you're feeling abandoned, rejected, alone, not enough, not important, all of that stuff, all of that story isn't who you truly are. And it's not how your mirror soul, your specific person truly feels about you either. Sometimes you'll get a reflection from the 3D and it's pure perception. Pure perception. And what does that mean? That means that you're seeing something, you're seeing the circumstance or something that's said or done. You're seeing the experience from the eyes of the identity of being the small self, the fearful self, the one that was maybe abandoned, rejected, not enough growing up. That's the old identity. That's not actually who you truly are. So you might be seeing your specific person from that perception. And then there are other cases where you might actually have the actual physical experience in the 3D of whatever the circumstance is that you believe is the cause of the separation or the reason why you can't be with your person. But nothing, no thing can get in between you and your true love. That is 100% a fact. The only thing that can get in the way is your refusal to accept who you truly are and who they truly are and your union with them. So anchor in the beginning of the day when you first wake up. I think it's always good to do some mindset work, whatever you choose to do. If you want me to be your coach, obviously I can help you. I used an analogy years ago. If you take flowers out of a garden, you cut them from the root. They're no longer alive, but they still look very much alive, right? Take them home, you put them in your vase, you add some water, even while they're sitting there, even though they're no longer alive, they still are animated, they still bloom, but it's a matter of time that they actually will wither away. And that's the same with your circumstance, with the little revelations that are being revealed to you, that are triggering you, that are in alignment with your old self, with the old circumstance, with the old story. And you don't have to reject that. You just choose. And you do that through trust, through loving yourself, and through persisting. So I'm going to read her story, and I know that it's going to inspire a lot of you guys. So before I do, if you do love my content, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps my channel grow, and I appreciate you. If you want me to be your coach to help you manifest your SP, email a short description to kim@coreunion.com. Go to my website, coreunion.com, book whatever you want. My scheduling assistant, Olga, will get back to you. So let me read this, and I intend that it helps. And I'm not going to cry this time. Hi, Kim. We haven't spoke for a while, but I had 5 sessions with you over the past year and a half. I wanted to share a success story in case you think it would help others to hear it. My person has been away for almost a month, and the triggers around this felt painful, but it actually pushed me into making a choice to identify as the version of me that's already living in the end of the life that I desire to have with my specific person. He returned yesterday evening, and even though it was late and he was tired, he really wanted to spend time with me and have dinner together. I had the thought it would be nice if he would say how much he loved and missed me and that we should be back together. I told myself I was okay, though, whether it happened or not. I know our end exists, so I genuinely was detached from how our evening went in the 3D, how it would actually play out. While we spent our evening together, he told me that he wanted to be really clear of our relationship. He told me, I know we're meant to be together. You are my person, and I miss you when I'm away from you. And I was seeing in front of me the version that I have been communicating with within me for all of this time. Everything he shared, was a direct reflection of what I've been focusing on and feeling on the inside, with no evidence in the 3D. Our communication was loving, sweet, and affectionate while we held hands. I felt a tiny part of me start to talk about our separation and how it was good for us and understanding his need for freedom. But that was okay because I went within and I just stayed in trust. Only last week I realized that there was still fear within me about receiving love. I often cried when I was receiving love and attention, even in my imagination, and I never could understand why. But last week I finally got it, and I knew I had to resolve this because that fear of being in love, and that it's going to go wrong is also present in my specific person. I started to focus on trusting love, feeling safe in love, trusting his higher self, that he would never let me down, that he was always there for me, and that I was made of love, so therefore it could just never go away. Another big deal for me was detaching from the 3D and really seeing it as an illusion. I don't know if you remember, but I was always meddling and trying to force things. The past few weeks, I've accepted that the outer circumstances are not real or powerful or creative in the same way that my consciousness is. Oh my God. And that included any thoughts and feelings that arose. They were just pointers to where I was focusing and that I could refocus. In other words, you can always shift and change what you're choosing. And that's what being a conscious creator in your reality actually means. That is the essence of it. The part about missing me, this was important to me as I've been working on revising a childhood event where I was left behind and forgotten about. I've been reimagining that event as my mother coming back for me and taking care of me. I just think it's amazing how specific the reflection of the 3D is to our inner awareness. The main shifts I've made in the last few weeks and months are not to take the outer 3D seriously, not to buy into uncomfortable thoughts and feelings, to surrender to my higher self working things out, not forcing things, and knowing that it's all coming from me. The higher self as the source of my reality, it was not always easy to disregard painful thoughts or feelings, but I remembered that current 3D circumstances are the dead flowers. I forgave myself for all the past mistakes and cultivated the feelings of the version of me that's in my end. Trust and a feeling of safety were a big aspect for me. Knowing it's safe to receive love and that it will not be suddenly taken away. I realized that those fears in me were also being reflected back in him. Thank you for your support and your wisdom. You're truly changing people's lives. I am so relieved that I don't need to stay a small, anxious person who feels unloved, unwanted, and I can choose myself and the world reflects that. And then she actually sent me another message and she remembered something. Excuse me. I remembered something else that I changed. I stopped trying to reject my old self and prior experiences. I started saying, okay, I chose at some level to experience aloneness and not being chosen and love not being safe. I selected that experience and I've learned valuable things from it. So I am grateful. And now I'm choosing a different experience of being loved, wanted, chosen, and part of a partnership. But instead of I don't want that, it was more like thank you and goodbye. She did things in a very balanced way where she started to learn and accept that the old identity of being abandoned, rejected, not chosen, which was rooted in, for example, the event that she experienced in childhood when she was just left. She was just left. And I don't know the exact details of that, but she went back and revised that. But that's not all that she did. And this did not happen overnight for her, but she persisted. And no matter what came up, she never gave up on herself and she never gave up on what was in her heart and soul because she knew that what is in her heart and soul is who she truly is. It's not fake. When you go in when you turn within and you stay within and you trust what's in your core, in your heart and soul, and you know that your inner world is not fake. When you do your inner work, you give yourself the experience that you crave and desire and want with your person in anything else for that matter in your life. But then you don't see it as fake, but then you also don't put pressure on your your whatever it is that you're wanting to create in your life. In other words, you don't get upset if in the 3D it doesn't unfold the way you were imagining it, because that's not you really understanding that not everything in the 3D will reflect precisely. Some things will, but some things will unfold in magical ways that are even better than what you imagined. But no matter what, your inner world and your imagination is always implying who you actually are or who you're being, who you're identified as being. So you do your inner work when you wake up. You stay in alignment throughout the day. So you carry yourself in the energy of that. You are seeing yourself and the world from the eyes of this version of you. You're remembering that we are all literally one. We're not separate from each other. Separation is the grand illusion. It's not true. So you're not separate from anyone or anything in your reality. And your divine messengers are meant for you. Okay. And if you love your true love, your specific person deeply, they love you too. Whatever you want, they want. Whatever you feel, they feel. Don't get too much in your head about it. Don't don't assign negative meaning to things, even to when you're still in the awakening process. Just be patient with yourself, be loving with yourself, choose yourself, and be compassionate with yourself. And also be loving with the ideas of your specific person. Forgive yourself for everything that you think is forgive yourself for everything. Just forgive yourself for the past because you just simply weren't in your power, knowing who you truly were in your reality, not understanding what reality actually was, and not understanding who your divine messenger, and in this case, your mirror soul, your specific person actually was. They showed you everything that you needed to do within yourself to prepare you for the relationship with them. Affirm down below. I trust what's in my heart and soul, and I know that I am one with everyone, especially my mirror soul, and I accept our union together now. And if you need me, just reach out. I love you. Have an amazing Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.